Hello, I am the real hero, and I am a Nintendo fan. Nintendo has been in my life ever since the GameCube, and I have invested probably thousands of dollars into their products. Whether it being a huge fan of their IPs or stubbornly sticking to the nightmare that was the Wii U, it's been there almost my entire life. However, I've brought you here today to reveal the line I've drawn in the sand. I have had enough of their content drip feed that is the Nintendo Switch Online. For those unaware, for a monthly/yearly subscription, Nintendo Switch users have access to the Nintendo archives from previous consoles. As of this video, you can play NES, Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64, Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, and Sega Genesis. If you've been attached to this since the start, players will understand how annoying the slow release of these games have been. The initial launch only had 20 tiny games to start with. Throughout the years, Nintendo has slowly added new consoles and games to their collection. In 2021, the company added additional features to the service while increasing the price from $20 a year to $50 a year. This caused some frustration with the fans and sparked much debate over the value of the service. While I'm not here to debate whether this is an honest choice or not, I want to describe a certain feeling that this format has given me. Since Nintendo has no release around when these retro games will be added, it's always a surprise when it does. In the back of my mind, checking my YouTube feed builds some anticipation for the next reveal. While people have been trying to see patterns in these releases, there's no telling exactly when any one of these games will be added. For example, many people assumed that there'd be one Nintendo 64 game released a month. However, when it came to the Game Awards this year, that whole pattern had drastically changed. During the show, Nintendo revealed not one, not two, but 3 Nintendo 64 games added to their service. This struck me as odd since the outlook made like the company would only release one of these at a time. Before, it was like pulling a lever and hoping I would get something exciting and new to add to my library. That one change made me alter the whole outlook on this service. Nintendo doesn't have a plan on when these retro games are being distributed. There's no rule to have you anticipate when the next one will come, or if something will come at all. I realized my anticipation for these games was solely around the idea that it could happen at any moment. Instead, I see now that they are simply holding on to them to boost excitement for events and upcoming projects. It's not a gamble, but more like a calculated decision to release a few at a whim's notice. So now, I don't obsess over certain releases or anticipate when the next batch will drop. Nintendo has no obligation to release systems like the GameCube to their services. In fact, they've been selling individual remakes semi-regularly now. So, rather than holding my breath for something exciting, I will look forward to see what comes out next regularly. After all, I will probably be paying for this service for the foreseeable future. The house always wins, as they say.